Right. So we're starting. Okay. So I'm here with Amy, and Amy, I do appreciate you being here with me today. I just wanted to start off by saying that this whole conversation that we are going to be having is going to be confidential. It's just between me and you, and my professor, of course, that will be observing this. But I just want to let you know that there are a couple limits to that confidentiality. If I feel if you're harm to yourself or harm to somebody else, like elderly or somebody below 18, so that's where I would have to report something. But I just wanted to throw that out there to let you know. So first, I do just want to start off. What is your definition of culture?
I think to me, culture has to deal a lot with like family and values. Both of my parents are straight from Lebanon, so I'm actually first generation American.
Nice.
But I do identify as Lebanese, and
Lebanese.
so I think that culture is a big part of like who I am, and I think a lot of the culture to me, I think has to deal a lot with like how I go about my life and like my morals and where I come from. Obviously my parents are very culture oriented just because of where they're from. So yeah, I think culture deals a lot with values and morals.
And I didn't catch where are your parents from again?
They're from Lebanon.
Lebanon. Okay. Gotcha, yeah. And then what are some of your like core values to you and your morals basically?
I think one of my biggest like goals in life, which often goes back to a lot of my values, is that I want to leave every conversation I have with someone better than they were before they talked to me, before they met me. And so a lot of my values have to deal with, being the best person that I can be and trying to push others to be the best person that they can be. And so I think a lot of my values have to go around that, just so I can
kind of helping people be their best selves and bringing that out of them. I can see it just like by your your face and just like your energy that you bring to it's good. That's good to see. So how do you define family necessarily?
I think family has to deal with a lot with people who love you unconditionally, but also you loving them unconditionally. It's people who always have your back and are always there to talk and to help you out if you ever need something. I think family has to deal a lot with love. I think that's probably the most important factor that goes into the definition of family.
And so for you as family, it doesn't necessarily have to be like somebody that's like blood related. I feel like it can be anybody that you love and where it's mutual.
For sure.
Gotcha.
And I think honestly in today's society, it's kind of sad how many people don't identify their blood related family or like members as their actual family. It's a lot of friends or a lot of and I mean if that's how if you love them and they love you, I think that would be considered family.
Exactly. Yeah, that's one of the big like discourses that is in society, where your family has to be your blood or kind of like, blood is thicker than water kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
We've talked about that in one of my classes before. How do you define success?
Ooh, that's a hard question.
I know.
Success to me is definitely happiness for sure. I think a lot of the stereotypes and for people think that being able to be considered successful means that you have to have a lot of money or you have to like make it in this world. But I honestly, I always tell my parents this whenever they ask like, what do you want to do? What do you want to be? And I just say I want to be happy because I think you can't do anything in your life and like be successful if you're not happy doing it. And so my goal for sure is to just to be happy. And if I can leave this world and say that I lived a good life and I did the best that I could and I made an impact, then I think that I had a successful life.
And do your parents support you with that, that kind of mindset that you have about success?
Yeah, and I think they're both reasons why I have that viewpoint too. I think, the way that they approach life and the way they approach situations is the same way that I am, and so I think they both influenced that like mindset. That
so you
way.
kind of got that value from them, kind of thing, and it passed on to you.
Yes.
Nice. And would you say education is important in your family?
Oh yeah. I think education is really important. Yeah.
And from my understanding, you have a brother, right?
Yeah, and he's 1 year older than me. He goes here too.
Oh, nice. That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So he's a year older than you.
Yeah, and so this is based off what family and stuff, but he's one of the main reasons why I came here is because we're only a year apart, so we're like best friends,
Right.
we're super close,
Yeah.
and so I couldn't imagine going to another school without him. So.
Right, that's good. So you would say your family's pretty like close.
Yeah.
Like, pretty much. And it's just you two, and then your
and then my parents.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
That's nice. So would you say you're religious? Like, do
Yeah.
you participate in an organized religion?
Yeah, I'm Catholic.
Okay, you're Catholic.
Yeah.
Nice. And would you say that you would when you do, if you do plan on having kids, do you plan on teaching them the Catholic ways? And
Yes.
Keeping that religion
Yeah.
within?
I do.
And are your parents Catholic as well? Did you like?
Yeah.
Are they? They passed it all.
Yes.
Okay.
It's kind of like a train, pretty much.
Okay.
But yeah, they're Catholic. Both my brother and I are Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you guys let's see. I asked her. Sorry, I'm just reading a couple questions.
No, you're okay.
Yeah.
No worries.
This is sorry, I just wanted to skip to this question because it was interesting to me. Do your parents like speak another language?
Yeah, they do. They speak Arabic.
Arabic. Okay,
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Do you know Arabic?
So I can't. When I was little, I was able to speak it, but now I can basically understand it, like most of it.
Right.
But I can't speak it.
Okay.
And I can't read it.
Yeah.
But all of my uncles, my aunts, my cousins, for the most part, speak Arabic.
Okay.
So
nice.
I'm around it.
Yeah.
A lot.
Cool.
I'm around it a lot.
All right. And what is considered like disrespectful in your culture? Like, or just a part of your family kind of thing, or like, you know.
I would say
Yeah, it's a
yeah.
broad.
I don't know. I think my family focuses a lot on how we treat others, just because how we want to be treated. I know it's like a cliche saying, but I think we focus a lot on, how are we going to benefit ourselves if we're out in the world treating other people like they're not, or like they're less than us.
Right.
And so I think a lot of us, or my family, focuses on, okay, who's doing well, and let's learn from them. And then let's help those that aren't as privileged and need help.
Right.
And so I think it's disrespectful in our family if you were to, treat someone as less than important or less than.
So I hear that like it's kind of like inequality thing. Like that's something like a value for you in your family as well. Is like making sure everybody's treated the same way, and like it's kind of reciprocated. Like if I'm treating you this way, I would hope that you would be the same way back to me.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is.
I understand that. Yeah, that's a big thing for sure.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's like just a thing that people, I don't know, like when I was in elementary school, that was something that like treat others how you want to be treated kind of thing. And I feel like that's just a universal thing that we try to incorporate into
it's
people.
not so much like a culture thing, I don't think, but it's more like, I don't know, I feel like if everyone had that mindset, the world would be such a better place.
Right.
But, so.
I feel like it is like a good core value to have too. I mean, walking through earth, I mean, kind of like, I feel like putting what energy you put into the earth is what you're going to get back kind of thing, but.
Yeah.
So do your parent, like, I understand that you're your family's from Lebanon.
Yeah.
Do you ever like travel there, or do you have any like certain like different, I would say like culture, like different thing, like how is Lebanon different from being here?
Yeah. Sorry, we're in the.
Oh, sorry.
The last time I went to Lebanon was when I was 6 years old.
Okay.
And just because Lebanon is, so it's right in the Middle East, right on the border, or right on the Mediterranean Sea. So a big reason why my parents moved from Lebanon is because it's not very safe there.
Okay.
There is a lot of like war and the politics and stuff. The government is not very good, and so. A big reason why they came to the U.S. is for better opportunity for like why a lot of people came here.
Right. Understandable.
So for better opportunity, just so they can raise kids in a place where it's safe and that they can be whoever they want to be. And so the last time I went, I was 6, and from what I remember, it was amazing. Like
Yeah.
beautiful.
Mhm.
Mediterranean Sea was awesome. Like it was such a cool
Mhm.
experience. I really do want to go back because all of my mom's side of the family is there.
Mhm.
And so both my parents have traveled back to Lebanon to see parts of their family and
Yeah.
be back in the culture that they were raised in.
Right.
So I plan to go back maybe after I graduate because when you go you have to stay for like a month's time because
Yeah.
it's so far and the time difference and everything like that.
Mhm.
So I plan to go back maybe after I graduate. Yeah, and see my mom's side of the family, see other parts of the family.
Right.
So yeah, that's what was
How
the
far
other
is?
question?
No, sorry. I was
It's
gonna
okay.
ask you how far is the flight from here to there?
It's like 13 hours.
13 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is intense.
Yeah, it is a very long flight.
Yeah.
So what my parents do is they normally fly and then stay there for like a month
Okay.
and then they come back.
Nice.
So yeah.
And how would you say that it's like different than here? Like
yeah.
as far as like you said the government and
Yeah.
what else?
I think the
Just like
government.
the culture, like just the people there as well. Like how exactly would you compare like?
I think honestly a lot of Lebanese people, like especially from the country of Lebanon, look at what like going back to the success question.
Mhm.
They look at success as like, okay, let's have as much money as possible, and then like let's show it off to everyone.
Okay.
It's a very like showy, very. I have to be looking my best at all times. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to explain, but it's a lot of people. Lebanese people are very self-centered,
Okay.
and so in the country of Lebanon, it's like your goal is to have as much money as possible.
Yeah.
And so that's how people go about life, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely kind of. I mean, for here, it's like mostly there's the whole like economic and like middle class.
Yeah.
Most people fall into middle class. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Most people fall into middle class, and then there's
Yeah.
the upper class, and then lower class.
Yeah.
And would you say that it's kind of similar to that back there too, or is it more of like how is the working out there? And
I think
I know you probably don't know much about that.
I know.
I'm thinking.
From what I've heard.
Yeah.
But it's okay. From what I've heard, I think there is like a classist system.
Mhm.
I think it deals a lot with like upper class, middle class, lower class
Yeah.
people, and there's a lot of like people from other countries that migrate to
Mhm.
Lebanon.
Okay.
Religion is also a big part of the Lebanese culture, but
Mhm.
it's kind of divided. It's like half Christianity, half like Muslims.
Okay.
And so yeah, it's been divided, and
Mhm.
that's also created some tension. But yeah, that I think like that's my understanding.
Yeah. And would you say that there is like a misconception about people from Lebanon?
I think so. There was this one incident that happened when my brother and I were taking a flight. I forgot where we were going. It was a couple years ago. We were flying somewhere, and just because of like his Middle Eastern features,
Okay.
he got pulled aside for like a random like security check and
Right.
something like that.
Right.
So it's kind of stuff that you don't even think about that other people are thinking about.
Yeah.
Like, I have to make sure that he, even though he was raised in America, and it's just because of the features he has.
Right. Just
But
the way somebody looks.
Yeah.
People discriminate.
Exactly.
Basically.
Exactly. And it's hard. It's really
Yeah.
hard. I'm trying to think. I think a lot of people think that people that are Lebanese are Muslim, which isn't always the case.
Right.
So I think that's probably the biggest misconception. I think a lot of people aren't educated on like the Middle Eastern like area.
Right.
And
yeah.
so
they just kind of associate everybody.
They group everybody.
Right.
Which isn't always true.
Yeah.
So.
Totally understandable.
Yeah.
And have you ever experienced discrimination yourself?
Me
like
personally, no. I think a lot of it is because I was raised in America.
Mhm.
But it was just like that one incident with my brother.
Yeah.
That I was there, but it didn't happen to me.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, do you think people like our age have like a sense of culture themselves, or is it kind of like taken on? Like, would you agree that it's kind of taken from American culture? Like, people kind of associate themselves. Sorry, that was like 5 different questions.
No, it's okay.
But how do you feel like about people and like like their sense of culture, basically. Like
Um,
I feel like, well, I don't want to like say what I feel, but do you
Okay.
like do you feel what is it? I'm trying to word the question in like a better way. Um, like do you think that people like really have like a sense of culture?
yeah, I. That's also a very hard question
Yeah.
because I think it can go back and forth, and I think
Mhm.
when you asked me earlier about what my definition of culture is, I think
Mhm.
that changes from person to person.
Yeah, right.
Um, but I think, honestly, I feel like in this society, I feel like a lot of people take pride in culture
Mhm.
or take pride in like where they're from or
Yeah.
like, there's a lot of groups or clubs or organizations on campus even
Right.
that like you can join that's related to your culture.
Right.
So I think a lot of people have a good understanding of their own culture, but I think
Mhm.
people should do a better job of learning about other cultures.
Right.
Like I find myself, I actually in one of my classes,
Mhm.
I was taking globalized business, and we had to learn about another culture and different cultures and stuff,
Mhm.
and it was so interesting to me.
Yeah.
And I love learning about where people come from and their background and stuff like
Right.
that. So I think if people were more open to learning about other people's cultures, people would be more culturally aware
Mhm.
in a way.
Yeah.
But I do think that people have a good sense of, culture in this like society and in this
Mhm.
day. Um, yeah, I think a lot of people take pride in their culture. Yeah. Also, going off of that, I do think that some people, um, I don't know. I feel like want they don't want to be a different culture, but they like try and be like everybody else, so
Right.
they don't identify as strongly with their own culture and their
Right.
own like values, beliefs, because they're too busy trying to fit in or be like everybody else.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure true. So where do you see yourself like in the future? Like what are you planning? What are you studying and like planning on doing in the future?
That's a good question.
Mhm.
Actually, I want to go into sports marketing.
Okay.
So I want to deal with like game day promotions
Mhm.
or work for a company like Nike in the fashion industry and try and sponsor certain athletes to like wear Nike gear, like
Right.
rep Nike clothes. And
Mhm.
so that's where I'm at now. I want to go into I'm majoring in marketing,
Mhm.
business and marketing.
Okay.
So anything in the marketing field. But
Mhm.
I found out this year I have an internship with a school that's
Mhm.
with the athletic department under their marketing segment, and so I really
Cool.
found out that that's what I want to do, and
That's
that's what I'm really
exciting.
interested in. Yeah,
Congrats.
thank you. And so yeah, so hopefully my future goes down that path, but I'm
Right.
really open to anything.
Yeah.
But marketing and social media is definitely like my biggest
Yeah.
passion.
And
Yeah.
you mentioned that you were going to be taking part in an internship. What kind of stuff do you know, like what kind of stuff you'll be doing in that internship?
Yeah, so I'm in it this year. So
Okay.
I did it for
Nice.
football season,
Okay.
and now I'm doing it for basketball season. But
Mhm.
I do it with every sport.
Yeah.
But basically, we deal with like a lot of game day promotion stuff.
Okay.
So we do like the student giveaways. We do
Mhm.
the halftime show. We
Okay.
pick contestants for the halftime show.
Nice.
And then I'm trying to think what else we do.
Yeah.
We pass out flyers. We
Mhm.
do like all of the like if someone wins something,
Yeah.
like we pick out who wins and give
That's
them
fun.
whatever they win. Yeah,
Right.
it's super fun. It's a good time for sure.
And how long is the internship for?
It's for the whole year.
Okay, so
Yeah.
just this year?
Yeah.
Nice. And you're a junior, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, that's exciting. You'll
Yeah.
be graduating next year.
I know. I'm nervous
That's
but
fun.
excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be, move on from school, but nervous to be an adult actually.
Right, no. It is difficult. It's a different world.
Yeah.
I'm like getting just a taste of it. I'm graduating this year,
Okay,
so
yeah. That's what I thought. Are
But
you excited?
yeah, I'm very excited. I'm planning on going to grad school, so
Oh, yay.
yeah. So
Nice.
I'm excited, but it's just getting everything ready, studying for the GRE and everything.
Yeah.
But I'm excited though, and I'll be like with my sister because she goes to Cal State Fullerton.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I'm excited.
Like me.
Right.
Like
Exactly.
me and my brother.
Exactly. All right, and going back to your culture and gender too, I didn't bring this up, but
Yeah.
this question just has it in there. Have you ever felt excluded based on your culture or your gender? I know
Not
you.
so much. Sorry, what were you
No.
gonna say?
Okay.
Okay, not so much culture. I don't
Yeah.
think, just because I feel like I'm very, I don't want to say like I'm Americanized, but like I was
Mhm.
raised in America,
Yeah.
so I feel like I like I know what's going on here, you
Right.
know. So
You're
like,
cultural. You're aware,
yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
Gender, mm, I'd say the biggest thing like gender wise is just I feel like just in general like in the world I feel like females are just like it's a harder time for them and
Right.
you know like
Yeah.
trying to find jobs or getting equal pay or um, um, yeah, just stuff like that. So
Right.
I think in that aspect, I
Mhm.
identify with that. Like I feel like I have to work harder than my brother does, for
Yeah.
example. Um, but I think that's how a lot of females feel,
Mhm.
just because of how the world is now.
Right. And what do, if you don't mind me asking, what do your parents do?
Oh yeah, my dad works for AT&T, and he's worked there for about like 20, I think it's 26 years
Mhm.
this year.
Nice.
Yeah, so for a very long time.
Yeah.
And then my mom was stay-at-home mom,
Oh, okay. Cool.
and she picked up a couple jobs here and there.
Mhm.
She is actually a chef, and
Oh,
so
cool.
so she caters a lot.
Mhm.
So she just picks up little small jobs, and then her friend does like staging for
Mhm.
houses that go on sale.
Okay.
And so my mom's like getting into interior design and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And so
Nice.
yeah, but which was nice. It was nice having her around and being
Mhm.
able, to come home from school and have her be with us
Right.
and stuff. So yeah, so she's stay-at-home mom technically.
Cool.
Yeah.
And do you guys what kind of like food do you guys like eat Lebanese
Oh
food
yeah,
kind of stuff?
so tons of Mediterranean
Okay.
food, which I'm so excited to go home for break
Yeah.
because I get all the food again. My
Right.
mom is an excellent cook. So
What kind of stuff do you guys
um,
eat?
it's a lot of like kebabs
Okay.
or hummus
Mm.
or I'm trying to think of like what else you know.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of like rice
Mhm.
and
Okay.
yeah,
Like that kind of base stuff.
yeah, exactly.
And do you guys have
Salads.
any like rituals or like
No,
anything like that pertains to
like the
not,
Lebanese culture,
no,
not really.
not really.
No,
Yeah.
I mean we do have like a lot of like Arabic and because we're Catholic, like a lot of
Yeah.
Lebanese saints and stuff like that around the house, but it's there's no like rituals.
Okay, yeah, it's not
Yeah.
like really
Yeah.
more like into it
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you go, yeah, you're Catholic, so it's all the basics, not basic, but I'm familiar with the Catholic culture, so
Yeah.
I understand that as well.
Yeah.
Let's see. Right. Is there anything else that you'd like other people to know that I didn't ask you about your culture? Like, anything else about like Lebanon that I didn't ask you about, or just anything else you want to bring up?
Um, I don't know. I just to reiterate what I was like saying earlier. I
Mhm.
think a lot of people, and especially in our generation, should do a better job about learning
Yeah.
about
For
other
sure.
cultures,
Yeah.
and instead of like prejudging or
Assuming.
yeah,
Mhm.
about a different culture. I think it's important to want to get to know, even your friends. I feel like a lot of people don't even know like their friends' culture or where they come from or
Right.
their background.
Exactly.
And so
That's just like conversations that people I feel like don't have often.
yeah, exactly. And to me, it's like I love it. I love learning about different cultures and stuff.
Right.
So, I mean, it doesn't have to be everyone's favorite, but I think
Yeah.
the world would be more understanding if people were more open to learning about new cultures.
Right.
So,
Gotcha.
that's all I have to say.
All right. Well, just to summarize everything that I have heard from you,
Yeah.
my understanding is like your family's from Lebanon. You are associated with the Catholic culture and
Yeah.
religion. You especially hold value in treating people the way they should be treated,
Yeah.
and bringing the best out of everybody. I could just see it in your energy in your face. It's good to see because I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah,
So
I know.
I would always see you and say hi, but it was
Yeah.
never like, oh, we're stopping and having a conversation. So it's really cool to have this conversation with you.
Yeah.
Get to know you on a deeper level because I never knew like your family was from Lebanon.
Yeah.
I never knew exactly like I just can't like say what you are, so I never asked, but that's cool to hear about and everything.
Yeah.
What else did I say? Yeah, but for the most part, and also I had underlined that you put love, and I could just like feel that. That's just kind of like energy and vibe that I get from you, and
Thank you.
loving people unconditionally. So
Yeah.
thank you very so much for participating in this.
Oh,
It was great
of course.
to hear everything.
Yeah, no worries.
And then